Time now for Better Money Boston. Joel Johnson is managing partner at Johnson Brunetti. And Joel, we hear so often that these days the individual is responsible for their own retirement. And this is a different mindset. Why has so much changed?
Totally different. My grandfather retired from a company he had worked at for 40 years. He had a pension and Social Security. He didn't have to worry about using any of his savings. There wasn't even a 401k for him back then. Now we are responsible for making sure we save enough money to supplement Social Security, if we're going to get that, in retirement. So it's very, very different than it used to be.
Let's talk about pensions. They're just not around as much, are they?
No, they aren't. Now, they are if you work for a government agency typically, or directly for a government, or if you're a school teacher, you get a pension. But for the most part, in the private sector, pensions are going away. So again, we've got to plan for ourselves.
What about Social Security?
Well, Social Security is going to be there. I really believe that if you're over 50 years old, Social Security is going to be there. I don't think those promises can be broken. But again, it should only be a part of your entire retirement picture.
Okay, what about how long we are living now?
Well, that's another thing that's a whole lot different. I mentioned my grandfather earlier. You know, he was born in the early 1900s. Life expectancy was probably into the early 70s. Now, when we plan for clients, we plan as if they're going to live well past 90. So it's a whole different ballgame, and inflation comes into account. We've got to make sure we can give people raises every single year as they're in retirement.
And if we are living longer, that must mean healthcare is a bigger concern.
Healthcare should be a huge concern. It's said that we need about $250,000 to $300,000 if we're going to live to 90 to take care of healthcare expenses. So that's got to be part of a plan. We don't want people to be overwhelmed by that, because it needs to be part of a plan. And it's okay if you don't have that much extra money, but we've got to factor in healthcare to a quality retirement.
Okay, so it's all part of that plan. You have a free book to help us with that.
Yeah, we sure do. We have the retirement planning checklist. So it talks about healthcare costs. It talks about inflation. It talks about the need to create a pension if you don't have one through your life savings. So we want everybody to get our retirement income planning checklist. It's a great book.
Get that free book right now. Simply go to bettermoneyboston.com. Joel, thank you. And that's Better Money Boston.